Welcome back to the channel. In this short video, hopefully short, I'm going to show you how to create your own little Valentine's gift for your partner or loved one. Great thing about creating something yourself and drawing it up yourself is you own the product. It's yours to do what you want with it. Any text, any font, sell it on Etsy, do what you want, make a few quid. You're not relying on anyone else. Without further ado, let's jump on a computer and we'll draw this up, export it, print it using the AMS system, and also I'll show you how to do it using a non-AMS, pausing the slicer and changing the colours over manually. So let's jump into Google and we're going to have a search for love heart. I've hunted around and found something decent. It's a full circle love heart, hollow in the middle. Right click, download, save it as a JPEG or a PNG. Once we've found the image we want, we can now jump into your photo editing suite of choice. I use Affinity Photo. I left Adobe years ago when it became a monthly subscription, and I bought this a few years back, but there are other editors available, and you could possibly use Canva or something like that. And what we're going to do now, we're going to type out some text. Now I find this easier than using the text in Fusion. I've had a bit of trouble with text in Fusion. This way it's you can use the font you want, any font you want that's installed. You can do all sorts of bits and pieces with it, make it a little bit fancy. I'm typing out the words Happy Valentines here, but I realised I wanted it separately, so later on I go back and I type out the word happy and export that as a PNG, a .png file. Then I type out the word Valentines and I export that, and I'll save that as a PNG file, a .png PNG file. So you can see here I'm just cropping the image size. I don't want all that waste of white space, I just want the words. So file, export, and then we'll export that. I think I export that as a PNG, a PNG file. I do that for word happy, I do it with the word Valentines, and I do that with the word Jill, which is my partner's name. So we'll do that now. So again, you can do that in Canva or Adobe Photoshop or whatever you're using. And we'll do that now. I find this, as I said, I find this easier than using the text in Fusion, Autodesk Fusion. So I'm going to save that now. I'll do that 3 times. So what I do now, I've exported that and saved it. I'm now going to go back. Basically, it's quicker just to overwrite this writing. So I highlight it, I delete it, type some more text that I want. You can use any text you want. As I say, I've played about with the text in Fusion a few times, and I find this method to be much easier, quicker. So I'm going to do the love heart as an SVG, the word Jill as an SVG, the word happy as an SVG, and the word Valentines as an SVG. I find this method works a lot easier. So I'm going to do that for all the bits and pieces, save them into my folder I'm working in, and then we're going to upload it to an online converter, convert the .png PNG files, as they're called, to SVGs, and then we can import them into Fusion. So I'm using, I bookmarked this site, it's called Convertio.io, I do believe. I'll put a link below for you to find it. Then I'm going to upload the files one by one and convert them to an SVG and then save the files. So I'll have 4 files in all: the love heart, the word happy, the word Valentines, and the person's name, which would be Jill in my case. So I have 4 SVGs to import into Fusion. So let's do that. There are other sites available to convert PNGs and JPEGs to SVG files, but I find this free one works okay, so I've bookmarked it in my browser. I've used it a few times and it's worked quite well, this one. Once we've done all these files, download them, save them into my working folder. Now we're going to jump into Fusion. This is the free version I've downloaded. I'll put the link below. And we're going to do Start Sketch, and I've just clicked on the bottom plane which is like the XY plane. And what I've decided to do is draw a straight line across the middle. What I did basically, I've got a caliper or a ruler or a steel rule in my hand, just so I can judge the size of the part I want to print. It gives you a visual aid, so you know exactly what sort of size you're making. And then I'm going to centre that, because I like to work on the centre, so I'm going to centre that, so half of that figure there, and then you press the D button, D for dimension, and then you click to the left, click to the centre, and then double click with your left click on your mouse, double click, tapping the figure, which would be half of that figure of your full length of line. So if it's a 200mm line, double click, tapping 100mm, that will shift the line to the centre, so it's equal about either side, left and right. I like to work on the centre. Click escape. So it gives me a visualisation of the drawing when I'm drawing it, although the squares are a certain size, I can't remember what they are. Now I'm going to the top right hand, I'm going to go insert SVG. I'm going to start with the love heart, so I'm going to look for my SVGs, grab the love heart. You'll see the one I'm importing now, click OK. There it is. Sometimes you have to use your scroll to scroll out to see if it's quite a large object. Now you can move it into position. You can use the arrows up, down, left, right, or you can click on that square and move it around where you want, using your line that I've put in the middle as a guide. You can also use the little radius piece there to move it in and out and scale it smaller or larger to how you want it. And then you can also use the circle and move it from left to right. I think it moves in 5-degree increments with that. So because that's not quite accurate enough for what I want, you'll see me mouse over to the right hand side and I tap in the degrees I want it, plus a couple of degrees or minus a couple of degrees, just to get it nice and upright, but it's not required. It depends on your image that you've imported. I honestly find importing SVGs makes it life really easy. So try and get used to doing that. Even with the text now, I did use Fusion Text for quite a while, but the SVG for this sort of thing is I find a lot easier. So don't finish sketch yet. We're now going to import the writing. I've jumped ahead a little bit here, and I'm just I've clicked the letter E or extrude, same thing. Top of the screen on the left there's the extrude option, or you can click E, jump into it straight away. It's looking good so far. Then I realised it looked a bit unbalanced. I've got the happy, I think I mentioned it earlier, I've got the happy Valentines in one word, and it didn't quite work, didn't quite do what I wanted. Not all the letters are joined up. So as you well know, if you 3D printed this, the letter H on the left there, for instance, will just drop away and disappear. So sort of halfway through this, I thought, hang on, I want these two words separately. I want happy and Valentine separate. So what I did, I stopped this and I jumped back into my drawing program and did the words separately. So delete, 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 go to the left on the sketches, delete, and start again. So that's the Valentines, the love heart inserted as an SVG. So I've deleted all the extruded lettering and started again basically. I jumped back into my editing software, typed out the word happy and typed out the word Valentines. So I've got them separate. So let's start again now, shall we? I've made the jill a little bit large here. I'm going to put it into a position that I think looks good. And as I said earlier, you can move it about with the arrows, or the square is quite good. The square you can click on, left click on the square and float that about. And there's an option at the top there to move. When you're happy with that, click OK. So that will do me for now. Now I'm going to go insert SVG and we'll grab another word. Let's have a look, what word are we grabbing? So now we're going to grab the word Valentines. And I'm going to move that about to where I think it looks good. I'm trying to look for a place where the letters will sort of be joined onto the love heart. I don't want any letters falling away. If you watch later on, keep watching the video to the end. If you watch later on, you notice that the dot on the I, I forgot about the dot on the I at this stage. So now I'm going to insert SVG, the word happy. And again, I'm going to move this about. I'll just move it because I forgot to look at the figure on the right hand side, the scale size of it. So what I'm doing, I'm moving it over the top of the word Valentine. I'm going to use the little semicircular option just to drag it up and down to scale it to make it look the same size. I should have looked at the figures at the top right hand corner box really and made the scale up, but that doesn't matter. It's getting somewhere near. When it looks somewhere near, I'm then going to grab the box or the arrows, move it over to where I think it looks good. That looks nice to me. I'm just trying to make sure all the letters are going to be joined on to another part. I don't know if being printed and falling off. There you go. Looks okay to me. At this point, I thought, yeah, it looks okay. The Valentines are sticking out to right slightly. Press top left up there. There's the extrude option, or you can press the letter E. Now I'm going to click on clicking on all the options, all the little bits and pieces. Use your scroll wheel to zoom in and get every little part of the letter, the lettering. You'll see it's like cut up there. So zoom in and get all the little bits and bobs. Zoom in and out as you need. Left click, left click, left click. You don't need to hold the Alt key or Shift key down or anything for this because you're in a extrude option already. Left click, left click, left click. There may be other ways of doing this. You get it wrong, just click on it again and it will unselect. I'm not sure I got that G right there, but anyway, I'm going to extrude that. I think I extrude that 25mm, an inch. Click OK. Happy Valentine's, Jill. That's looking good so far. Now I'm going to select the love heart. Press E, extrude, and I'm going to make this a little bit shallower. I think I'll do this 20mm. Zoom in and out with your scroll wheel. Try and get all the little bits you can see there, and that will basically join it all together. Now every little letter is joined there. HAPPY is joined to the for the love heart. The Valentines is joined to the love heart, and the Jill is joined to the love heart. But if you look, a little mistake. I'll come back to rectify this later. The dots on the eyes are floating about. My mistake there. So I'm just going to extrude this Valentine's, the love heart. Now at this stage here, I'm thinking, yeah, it looks okay. I'm happy with that. Or am I? It's a bit unbalanced. The idea is it's going to sit on the word Jill. Would it tip over? It might be all right. But it looks a bit off centre, looks a bit odd. The Valentine's looks a bit too far over to the right. I'm just scrolling it about. Hold down your scroll wheel with your mouse. Use your left, on a PC use your left shift key. And you can move it about where you want. And I've said before, if you get a little bit lost, go to the top right hand corner, click the little home button, the little house, put it back into a nice position. Excuse me. So it's looking good so far. I'm happy with that. Are we ready to export and print that? Not so sure. Looks a little bit lonely at the moment, I think. Now this is where I realise that the dots on the eyes are floated about in mid-air. I'm trying to move it all over. I don't really want to move it, and I had difficulty moving it. I think you've got to go into sketch mode, edit sketch, move it all over. But to be quite honest with you, I'm happy where it is. So then, I've got to change the plan here. Look, if you watch the whole lot sort of join together, and I'm moving the whole lot over, not what I want. So I'm thinking what to do next. Quite easy. Go back to your sketch. So you go on the left, edit sketch. So top left, turn off the bodies, turn the sketches back on so I can see what's going on. And then I can right click, edit sketch. Or I think I actually create a new sketch here to be fair. Choose the plane I'm working on, which is the same plane as before. Press the scroll wheel down to move it into position. Press scroll wheel in, and at this point I think I decided to draw a couple of rectangles to join the letters up. If you look, and I think I changed my mind because I didn't want them square, put them at more of an angle. So I'll do a rectangle there first. Then I'll do another rectangle or square. I'm just joining the eye dot up to the line. And then I'm thinking to myself, why have I done that? Why have I done a square? So delete that, start again. Zoom in, we'll use the line tool instead I think. Use the line tool. Use the scroll wheel to zoom in to see what you're doing. And then we go, click, click. Make a little shape at an angle here. Well, you can hardly see it to be fair when the job was finished. Press escape. Press the scroll wheel in. Move over to the other eye with the dot. Basically what I'm doing here, I'm just joining them together. So when I extrude it, the dot and the eye won't fall apart. Click a line, click, left click, left click, left click, left click. It joins it up. Now press escape. Press E to extrude. There you go. Select, select, and then give it a distance. I think I gave this 20mm or 18mm. It doesn't matter. It's just wanted to join it up. I've done it flush. I've done it 25mm. I've done it showing flush with the letters. But any figure will do. I think I put 20. Turn it all back on. There you go. It's joined up. So that stops the dots falling off, disappearing into oblivion. I'm quite happy with that now. It's looking good. So at this stage, I did save it and export it. And I put it into Bambu Lab Studio and coloured it in. And then I thought it looks a bit plain. So I've saved it and I'm going to go back and add another love heart. So here we go then. Same again. It's all good practice. Top right hand corner menu, insert SVG. Back down to my folder of SVG images, import, and I'm choosing the plane to put it on. I want to pick the same plane as before. Grab the box, move it back to where I want. I'm getting the bottom arrow of the love heart lined up the. Well, first of all, I'm going to scale it, make it look nice. And then I'm moving it about so it's sort of like the bottom of the arrow. Sorry, the bottom of the love heart, the pointed portion of it, the pointed portion is pretty much level with the letters, so it will sit nice on the table. So it'll be like a tabletop display. And I'm also looking, I'm quite conscious of where it overlaps with the G and the other love heart. I've done it sort of fouling the other G really. But what I do when I extrude this, I make this even smaller. So it gives it like a 3D effect. So I've got the smaller love heart, which is shallower, the large love heart, and then I've got the other the letters, which are even higher. So I'm clicking on that, click extrude, click the height. I think I go 18, 19mm with this, which is a little bit lower than the 20mm love heart. So switch on all the bodies, and there it is. Turn off the sketches, get them out of the way. That looks nice. That'll do me. That's going to be red for Valentine's Day, obviously, and the writing is going to be white, which is a higher layer, so it's easier to colour in. Save that. Excuse me. What I always do now, I've said before, I like to group it all together. So left click, drag across the whole lot, then go combine. Okay, it's one complete body then. Okay, so then I'm going to go file, I save it. Now I'm going to go 3D print, click, and we'll save that as an STL file. And then we'll jump into Bambu Lab Studio. We'll paint it and print it. Let's open up Bambu Studio, Bambu Lab Studio software, file, import. There we go. The controls here are a little bit different from Fusion. Now it's coloured in black by default. I'm using the fill option. Click on fill, the paint bucket, paint the whole lot. Whack the fill up to 90 or whatever it is. It'll grab the whole lot. I'm using an AMS unit on mine. So all of it's red. Now I'm going on to the height, and I think the extra height is 2mm. So what I do, I normally set that to 2mm. Zoom in, lower it up and down until I'm just above the large love height. Make sure white's selected. left click, and it should colour the whole lot. I'm just fiddling about with the figures here to get it correct. If I make a mistake, which normally happens because I'm trying to fine tune it, excuse me. There you go, done. That's white. That looks pretty good to me. Now, we're ready to slice that. Top right hand button, slice it. And I said before, when you spin it round, I'm using a little prime towel there, which cleans out your back nozzle. I look closely at that towel, and I've only got a red there and a white there, which is what I want. And then I save it, print it, I've done. Now, if you haven't got an AMS, we're going to jump in quickly to show you what to do without an AMS. Without the AMS, you go back into the slicer. On the right hand side, before you print, you slide it up and down, do right hand click, right hand pause. That will be where you'll change your filament manually at the back of your machine. So if you just see there, right click, pause, and then when you post it out, print, that's where you'll change your filament manually, like so. Easy. Hope that helped that video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and let me know below if you need any more help with anything else, or you want to draw something else. You got any ideas, something else you want to draw up for yourself or anyone else, feel free to give me a shout, and I'll see if I can do a little tutorial on it. Thank you, and goodbye.